Now, I want to go to some different kinds of geeks. They've made being a geek cool. We're going to hear from Adam and Jamie, the Mythbusters. Have at it, guys.
Well, thank you so much for having us and having us be a part of this discussion. You know, I think that one of the things that we constantly find when we meet people is that they're surprised at what a creative process uh, we are making science seem like. And I mean, I think that one of the disconnects kids have in school when they take a math class or a science class is that everything's presented to them as this inviolate sort of, body of knowledge that they must learn. And they don't realize that actually the scientific method is deeply creative. Then what you get once you get your hands on something and you can engineer it, as Dean's kids find in the first program, all of a sudden your opinions matter and you are creating something. I think that's very invigorating for people, and it's something that's the reason we're still having fun doing this show after 8 years.
Yeah, it's been a while since I was a kid, but as I recall, I didn't know what I wanted.
May I say, not so long. Not.
As I recall, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do when I was young, and so I just kind of followed whatever seemed appropriate. But looking back on it now, I think if I had known how much fun it actually is to use your brain and to do things like we play around a lot on the show, and it's just flat out fun. But what goes along with that is math and science. It's there. If I'd known that at the time when I was young, I would have been all over it. But I don't think it's presented that way. A lot of people don't realize it. No matter what your eventual goals are in life, what's facing you right now is just it's fun to use your brain. It's exercise, just like you would go out onto the sports field and play football or something like that, and that's fun. You're exercising your body. It's the same way with your brain. It's fun to exercise your brain.
I want to say Richard Feynman said when he was really little, he asked his dad about why, when he pulled a wagon with a ball in it, the ball went to the back of the wagon. And his father explained to him momentum, the laws of thermodynamics. And then when Feynman said, yeah, but why exactly does the ball move to the back of the wagon? His dad said, actually, at the very base of it, nobody knows. And Feynman said that's one of the things that gave him the insight to be able to realize that the big questions are still there to be answered, and that, we are all qualified to go try and answer them. My favorite science teacher in all of my schooling, Dan Frere in Sleepy Hollow, New York, one of my favorite things about him was when I asked him a question he didn't know, he said, "I don't know." That's a remarkable thing for a teacher to do to a child.
Well, you guys clearly make it fun, and I love your show. I was thinking, I wonder if you saw that viral video of the dad whose 6-year-old kid came up with the idea of putting an iPhone on a weather balloon. Did you see that video? And it went up to 100,000 feet, and you can see the curvature of the Earth. And then, it's a great video and a great response by that dad to his kid's interest. But this concept of geeks and nerds is still an issue that's important. And I would like to ask you all to watch a 30-second public service announcement that aired this year as part of Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds campaign. I think it's a great video.
They call us nerds. Geeks, dorks. We get picked on, made fun of.
We aren't popular.
But it doesn't matter. We know how computers work. We like math.
And technology.
We're curious.
We're building rockets. We're figuring out the future.
Want to know what we see out there? Someday. Someday.
Someday, you'll be working for me.
For me. For me. You'll work for me.
The future of our nation and our children depends on math, science, and technology. Visit connectamillionminds.com to find out what you can do.
Okay, let's bring in Melissa. You know American culture and Chinese culture both. Talk to us a little bit about what is cool in these respective cultures. Is it true that in China, the kids who excel in math and science are considered cool?
Oh, definitely. I mean, well, I don't know if they're considered cool, but they're definitely respected. For instance, the smartest kid in my school last year, his name was Ethan, and he had straight A's, and everyone was just in awe of him. And whenever we had questions, we would go to him and ask him. And he may not be the best-looking guy or the sportiest, but everyone loved him, and he was definitely one of the most popular kids in our grade. But in contrast, in America, the kids who are popular and considered cool are the kids who are pretty or good at sports or have a six-pack. So, like, the people in China, people are worshipped if they have a good mind. And in America, people are worshipped if they have a good body. And I think that's a very interesting contrast.
It's a pretty interesting way to put it, too, and it's really something to think about. Let me throw a question out to Lincoln, Nebraska. I want to talk with Mary, who is 10 years old and who absolutely loves math. Mary, what kind of vibes do you get from other kids about the fact that you love math so much? Do you ever catch grief for it?
Before I did robotics, robotics was kind of it just helped me with math, and I didn't realize I was doing math until somebody pointed it out to me. I was like, wow, that's really fun. So.
Well, is it cool to be so interested in math, or it sounds like you're not getting grief for it.
Well, yeah, a lot of kids at my school love math, and I think it's awesome that we have math.
Well, good. Good. Maybe we're seeing the beginnings of change in your generation. We certainly need to encourage that. I want to go now to Rin Yu in Shanghai, China. Rin Yu is 16 years old. What are the attitudes in Shanghai about kids who are really into math and science?
Hello?
Yep.
I think that students in China studies very hard and does a very good job. But in America, they usually play a lot, but they still can do the same with Chinese people. I think that's because they've got creation. I mean, like when we do the same in math, Chinese people can do very good in calculation, but not in creation.
Okay,
and I think creation is very important.
I get what you're saying, and thank you. And I think the basic point is that in countries where the kids are really doing well in math and science, they're respected by their peers, and it's not seen as uncool. In fact, it's seen as uncool not to be focused on your studies. I think it's a really important insight, so thank you. I want to go to Rochester, New York, and talk with Selena, another young woman who loves math and science. And Selena, have you been called out for that? Have you gotten grief over that? What is the general attitude about somebody that's really in love with math and science?
Well, the attitude about if someone is really interested in math, that if someone is really interested in math, they're not really giving them grief as much as helping them out with it or wanting to learn too.
Well, that's good. That's good. As I said previously, maybe we are beginning to see some changes in these attitudes.